Mesdames et messieurs, bonjour. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to class. Today, we will be talking about two things in French. One of them being la salutation. La salutation. And the other, la présentation. La présentation. But first, I want us to learn something else. Something that I believe is a prerequisite to this. And it's a little bit about French culture. The reason I'm telling you about this is that the French culture heavily impacts the French language, to the point that if you say something in the wrong way, it could become offensive to someone in French, even though you're not insulting at all. But the way in which it is said can become offensive. There are two things I would like to talk about first in the French culture. In English, you can say you to just anybody. You can be talking to the president of a nation and you can refer to them as you. You are welcome, Mr. President. You can be talking to someone your caliber. You can also say, you are welcome, my friend. You can be talking to your brother. You can also say, you're welcome, brother. You can be talking to a total stranger. You can also say, you are welcome. In French, that is not the case. There's a different you for someone in a position of authority, or a total stranger, and there's a different you for someone you're really familiar with. And this can become a problem because when you're learning the language, the French language, if care is not taken, you could offend someone just by speaking French. So, the two things are vouvoyer and tutoyer. Now, what's vouvoyer? Vouvoyer simply means to address someone as vous. That's the formal you. That's the you that you use when you're talking to someone you're not familiar with. Like your boss at work. Like your interviewer. You're going for a job interview, you want to say vous. Never say tu. The other one that we're supposed to talk about is tutoyer. What is tutoyer? Tutoyer simply means to address someone as tu, the informal you. The you use for your friends, your relatives, your colleagues, etc. So having learned that, there's a different you in a formal context for those you're unfamiliar with, and there's another you for people that you're familiar with. Now we want to talk about la salutation. In French, we have two main forms of greetings. We have your bonjour and bonsoir. Bonjour during the day, bonsoir in the evening. Notice that the ju is dragged. It's not jour, as in the English sound of J, jour, July, jour. It's dragged. Sh, jour, bonjour, bonjour. So in the formal context, we will say bonjour, comment allez-vous? Bonjour, comment allez-vous? Good morning, how are you? So you say bonjour, and that person you're referring to says bonjour, comment allez-vous? Now this is in the formal context. I'm assuming that the person speaking to me is not familiar with me, or the person that I'm talking to, I'm not familiar with that person. So I will use comment allez-vous. So you say bonjour, and the person says bonjour, comment allez-vous? And then you respond by saying je vais très bien, merci. Et vous? Je vais très bien, merci. Et vous? Informal context, with somebody you're familiar with. say bonjour, he says bonjour, and that's enough. Bonjour, bonjour, there's no formal context to it. You can say whatever you want to say. You can just repeat that same word as in bonjour, bonjour. But there's another form as well, which is salut. Notice that the final T in this word is not pronounced. It is not salute, it is salut. It's almost as if it doesn't exist at all. Salut, which is the English equivalent of hi. Hi, hi, salut, salut, hey, salut les gars, hey, salut. Very sweet. Now, let's talk about a little bit of responses there. Bonjour, bonjour, comment allez-vous? Je vais très bien, merci. Et vous? Je vais bien aussi. That's the formal. Informal. Bonjour, bonjour. You can also say bonjour, ça va? And that person can respond by saying ça va. So, informal, bonjour. Bonjour, ça va? If you don't want to say bonjour, you can say salut. That's morning. Now let's go to evening. Bonsoir, the same context. In the formal, bonsoir, comment allez-vous? Je vais très bien, merci, et vous? Bonsoir, comment allez-vous? Comment allez-vous? Je vais très bien, merci, et vous? Et vous? Je vais bien aussi. In the evening, salut. In the morning, salut. Doesn't change there. The next thing we want to look at is la présentation. La présentation. To be able to do this, we need to look at the verb s'appeler. But we don't want to go into too much detail. So for the time being, we'll stick with je m'appelle, which means my name is. Je m'appelle. You can also say mon nom c'est, but we will not go into that. Je m'appelle. So, bonjour monsieur. Bonjour, comment allez-vous? That's what the man says. And then I say, je vais bien aussi. Je m'appelle Jacques. That's how you introduce yourself. Je m'appelle Jacques. Je m'appelle Philippe. Je m'appelle Guillaume. Je m'appelle Pierre. So now that you know how to greet in French, you know that there's a formal greeting and an informal greeting. You also know that if you're speaking to someone that you're unfamiliar with, remember to refer to them as vous, a formal you. When you're talking to someone you're familiar with, you refer to them as tu, the informal form of you. If you do this, you will go well. Now let's add a few goodbye statements. After you've greeted someone, after you've introduced yourself, you're leaving now. You can say au revoir. Au revoir. In some countries, you will hear au revoir. Same thing. Au revoir, same context. À tout à l'heure. À tout à l'heure. À tout à l'heure. À tout à l'heure. À bientôt. À bientôt. À demain. À demain. One thing I would like you to notice is that the actual verb see is not in these expressions, but the context is. Because in French, to see is the verb voir, but you don't see it here in these expressions. It's just we use for the context of see you and then the expression for goodbye statements. So we have au revoir, we have à bientôt, we have à tout à l'heure, we have à demain. And what else would you like to add? Is it enough for today? Any questions? Remember to subscribe to this channel. Click on the bell so that you're notified about any videos that I upload. Thank you. Have a nice day.